There's a law in Arizona that makes it illegal for donkeys to sleep in bathtubs. Yes, you heard that right. Donkeys in bathtubs. And that's not even the weirdest one. Today, we're diving into 18 of the most ridiculous, head-scratching, what were they thinking laws that actually exist around the world. I'm talking about laws that'll make you question everything. Laws that sound like they were written by someone who lost a bet. And the craziest part? These are all real. You can't make this stuff up. So, buckle up because this is about to get weird. Here's the thing about laws. They're supposed to protect us, right? Keep society running smoothly, stop people from doing dangerous or harmful things. But somewhere along the way, lawmakers got a little too creative. Maybe they had too much coffee. Maybe they were dealing with one very specific incident that spiraled out of control. Whatever the reason, they created laws that make absolutely zero sense in the modern world. And the worst part? Most of these laws are still technically on the books, which means you could be breaking the law right now without even knowing it. So let's break down these absurd regulations one by one, and I'll try my best not to lose my mind in the process. Law number 1. Alabama. No fake mustaches in church. We're starting strong. In Alabama, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church. I have so many questions. First of all, who was the guy that showed up to church with a ridiculous mustache and ruined everything? Second, how do they measure if the mustache causes laughter? Is there a laughter meter? Do they have undercover mustache police sitting in the pews? And third, what if your real mustache is just naturally funny looking? Are you banned from church? This law raises more questions than it answers. Law number 2. Alaska, no waking bears for photos. In Alaska, it's illegal to wake a sleeping bear to take a photograph. Now, on one hand, this makes perfect sense because waking up a bear sounds like a terrible idea. On the other hand, the fact that they had to make this a law means someone actually did this. Someone looked at a sleeping grizzly bear and thought, you know what would make a great Instagram post? And then poked it with a stick. And honestly, that person probably deserved what happened next. Law number 3. Arizona, the donkey bathtub situation. Back to Arizona and their donkey bathtub problem. Apparently, it's illegal for donkeys to sleep in bathtubs. The story behind this one is actually wild. Legend has it that back in the day, a merchant's donkey fell asleep in a bathtub, and then a flood came through and washed the donkey miles away, still in the tub. The rescue mission was so ridiculous that they banned it forever. So now every donkey in Arizona has to sleep literally anywhere except a bathtub. Poor donkeys. Law number 4. Arkansas, you can't honk your horn. Near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m., in Little Rock, Arkansas, it's illegal to honk your car horn anywhere that serves cold drinks or sandwiches after 9 p.m. This is oddly specific. Like, what happened? Did someone have a really intense beef with Subway? Were people organizing late-night honking flash mobs outside of sandwich shops? And why specifically places that serve cold drinks or sandwiches? What about pizza places? Can you honk there? The people need answers. Law number 5. California. No eating frogs that die during frog jumping contests. In California, it's illegal to eat a frog that dies during a frog jumping competition. First of all, California has frog jumping competitions, which is adorable. Second, someone definitely tried to eat a losing frog. They watched their frog fail to jump, looked at it, looked at the judges, and said, well, waste not, want not. And that's when lawmakers stepped in. But honestly, if your frog can't jump, maybe it was just tired. Maybe it didn't deserve to become dinner. Law number 6. Connecticut, pickles must bounce. In Connecticut, for a pickle to officially be considered a pickle, it must bounce. Yes, bounce. Apparently, back in the 1800s, some shady pickle salesmen were selling cucumbers that weren't properly pickled, so the state created a bounce test. If your pickle doesn't bounce, it's not a real pickle, and you're a fraud. I love that Connecticut takes pickle integrity this seriously. Respect to Connecticut. Law number 7. Florida, unmarried women can't parachute on Sundays. In Florida, it's illegal for unmarried women to parachute on Sundays. Married women, go crazy. Jump out of planes all day. But if you're single, you better keep both feet on the ground when Sunday rolls around. I don't know if this law was created by concerned parents or jealous married people, but it's absolutely bonkers. Also, how would they even enforce this? Do they check marriage certificates at the skydiving place? Law number 8. Georgia. No llamas at the barbershop. In Georgia, it's illegal to keep a llama in a barber shop, not a hair salon, specifically a barber shop. Which means at some point, someone brought their llama to get a haircut, and it went so badly that the entire state had to get involved. Imagine being the barber. You're just trying to give someone a fade, and then a llama walks in, and apparently this happened enough times that they had to make it illegal. Law number 9, Hawaii, no billboards. Hawaii banned billboards to preserve the natural beauty of the islands. Okay, this one actually makes sense. Good job, Hawaii. You win the award for most reasonable law on this list. I'm genuinely proud of you. No notes. Law number 10, Idaho, no fishing from a camel's back. In Idaho, it's illegal to fish from a camel's back. Not a horse, not a boat. Specifically, a camel, which means someone in Idaho, a state that's nowhere near any camels, somehow acquired a camel, brought it to a lake, climbed on top of it, and started fishing. And it bothered people so much that they created legislation. The mental image alone is incredible. Just a guy on a camel holding a fishing rod in Idaho. Law number 11, Illinois. It's illegal to speak English. In Illinois, the official language is American, not English. So technically, speaking English is illegal. You have to speak American, whatever that means. This law is so confusing that I don't even think lawmakers understood what they were doing when they wrote it. Like, what's the difference? Is there an American dictionary I don't know about? Do we spell color without the U? Oh wait, we already do that. I'm so confused. Law number 12. Indiana, mustaches and kissing. In Indiana, it's illegal for a man with a mustache to kiss another human being. Not just women. Any human being. So if you have a mustache in Indiana, you're basically banned from all forms of affection. This law was supposedly created because mustaches were considered unsanitary. But so is not washing your hands, and we don't ban people from handshakes. Indiana really had it out for mustaches. Law number 13. Kansas, no hitting vending machines. In Kansas, it's illegal to hit a vending machine that stole your money. You just have to accept your loss and walk away. The machine wins, you lose. That's life in Kansas. Honestly, this might be the most frustrating law on the list because we've all been there. You put in your money, press the button, and your chips get stuck. And in that moment, violence feels justified, but not in Kansas. In Kansas, the vending machines have more rights than you do. Law number 14. Kentucky. You must bathe once a year. In Kentucky, it's illegal to not bathe at least once per year. Once per year. The bar is so low it's practically underground. And yet they still felt the need to make this a law, which means there were people who weren't even hitting that minimum requirement. Imagine going an entire year without bathing and thinking, yeah, this is fine. Kentucky said absolutely not, and got the law books involved. Law number 15. Louisiana. You can't send surprise pizza. In Louisiana, it's illegal to send a surprise pizza to someone without their permission. This is actually kind of amazing because it means pizza harassment was a real problem. Someone was out there weaponizing pizza, sending unwanted pizzas to their enemies, making people pay for pizzas they didn't order. It's psychological warfare, and Louisiana put a stop to it. Honestly, fair. Law number 16. Maine, no Christmas decorations. Up after January 14th. In Maine, you have to take down your Christmas decorations by January 14th, or you're breaking the law. This one actually makes sense to me because we all have that one neighbor who leaves their decorations up until March. Maine said, not in my state, and I respect it. Although January 14th feels a little early, give people until the end of January at least. Law number 17. Montana. Married women can't go fishing alone on Sundays. In Montana, married women aren't allowed to go fishing alone on Sundays. Unmarried women? Fine. Married men? No problem. But married women specifically need supervision on Sundays. This law is so weirdly specific and outdated that it makes my brain hurt. Were married women causing fishing-related chaos on Sundays? What's the story here? Montana, we need answers. Law number 18. Nevada. It's illegal to drive a camel on the highway. And finally, in Nevada, it's illegal to drive a camel on the highway. Again with the camels. Why are so many states worried about camels? Nevada, I get it, you're mostly desert, but camels aren't native there. Someone had to import a camel, put it on the highway, and cause enough problems that the government stepped in. And honestly, I'd love to meet that person because they sound like they know how to have a good time. So here's what gets me about all these laws. They're still technically enforceable. Most of them have never been officially removed from the books, which means right now, there could be someone in Idaho illegally fishing from a camel's back. There could be a woman in Montana breaking the law by fishing alone on a Sunday. There could be someone in Alabama wearing a fake mustache in church, living life on the edge. But the real question is, why don't we remove these laws? And the answer is actually pretty simple. It's because it doesn't really matter. Nobody's enforcing them. No cop is going to arrest you for having a donkey in a bathtub. No judge is going to take your pickle bouncing case seriously. These laws exist in this weird legal limbo where they're technically real but practically meaningless. And honestly, that makes them even funnier. Because somewhere in a dusty law library, there's a book that says you can't fish from a camel in Idaho. And that book is just as official as any other law. It's treated with the same legal weight as actual important legislation. And nobody's doing anything about it because, let's be real, we have bigger problems. So, there you have it. 18 of the stupidest laws that somehow made it onto the books and decided to stay there. From donkeys in bathtubs to bouncing pickles to camel-based fishing, lawmakers have really outdone themselves over the years. And the best part? There are hundreds more where these came from. Every state has their own collection of bizarre, outdated, completely ridiculous laws that make you wonder what was going through people's heads. But you know what? These laws tell a story. They're little snapshots of weird moments in history where someone did something so absurd that the government had to step in. And now we get to laugh about it decades or even centuries later. So in a way, these dumb laws are actually kind of beautiful. They're reminders that humans have always been chaotic, lawmakers have always been dramatic, and sometimes the best way to deal with problems is to create oddly specific legislation that future generations will roast you for. If you want more weird law deep dives, hit subscribe.